Hello, children. See, I was telling you about the part 2. Okay, what had happened on December 25th, on middle of the First World War. In the middle of the First World War. Okay, you heard. Now, see here, I told in the last, I told the Germans went away to their homes. That is not homes, to their places. Okay, where they take rest, to their places at the time of war. And Britishers also went to their places, and from there they started singing. Germans started singing carols, and for them these Britishers also gave chorus. Okay, they enjoyed the day. That day there was no war, no fightings. The day was very peaceful. So these all things were written by Jim Macpherson in the letter. To whom? Connie, his wife. He told that Connie, we did not do. You will be shocked by listening. These all happened in that day. Yesterday we did not fight. We did not have a war. These all happened yesterday. We enjoyed 25th of Christmas Day very pleasantly. So he wrote all the things in the letter to Connie. Connie reads the letter. Now I'll just read the sentences. If you didn't understand, you can ask me later. The English and the Germans were at war. The two armies stood in their respective trenches on the two sides of the no man's land. Suddenly, Jim Macpherson saw someone waving a white flag from the enemy side. Then he saw many German soldiers calling out to them. They were wishing a happy Christmas, Tommy, happy Christmas to the English soldiers. Some English soldiers also shouted back, "Same to you, Fries, same to you." The English thought that was all. That was all means they thought it was completed. Now, to their surprise, they saw many Germans moving towards them. The captain was alarmed. Alarmed means shocked. It could be a trick, but it was not. They were bringing with them German wine and canned meat. Canned meat means small pieces of meat. Now there were no rifles between the soldiers. Rifles means weapons. They were hugging one another. The German officer moved towards Macpherson. They shook hands very warmly. Then the German officer said that he was from Dusseldorf and that he played cello in the orchestra. See here, Dusseldorf, and he played this instrument, cello. Next, who played this one? German officer. Okay, he gave his name as Hans Wolf. What is the name of German officer? Hans Wolf. In return, Macpherson also introduced himself. He said that he was a school teacher from Dorset. Next, Hans Wolf smiled and said he knew Dorset. In fact, he had never been to England, but he knew English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite book was Far from the Madding Crowd. What was his famous book? Far from the Madding Crowd. It was from there he had learnt all about Dorset. He learned everything about Dorset there in that books. Next, Macpherson shared with Hans Wolf the Christmas cake his wife had sent for him. Next, Hans Wolf said that marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. Marzipan means the upper layer of the cake, cream. That cream was very tasty. Who ate that one and told? Hans Wolf ate that one and told like that. It was a wonderful Christmas party. Then the soldiers played football. Hans Wolf suggested that the world would be much better if problems were resolved by a football match instead of a war. Next, that night Germans were heard singing carol. The English soldiers replied with a rousing chorus. When Germans were singing carols, they were giving chorus. Who? English soldiers. Macpherson wrote in his letter that he would treasure those moments all his life. Treasure those means unforgettable moments. He thought there will be war and someone will be dying. Instead of that, nobody died here. Everybody enjoyed here. So those are treasure moments, means very valuable moments. He ended the letter hoping that the war would end soon. If we are in this way friendly, if both the countries are very friendly, we shall stop the war. The war will end soon. He wrote in that letter. Both armies longed for peace and he was sure that they would be together again. Both the armies, even Hans Wolf also want peace. Jim Macpherson also want peace. They don't want wars. So they wanted peace. So this was written in the letter. Now let us come to the part 3. Having read the letter, now what happened? Who read that letter? The narrator read the letter. He closed the letter, he folded, and that day night he didn't sleep at all. He thought, let me give this letter. He read the address. He read the address and it is in Dorset, 12 Copper Beaches. The address is Bridport, 12 Copper Beaches, Dorset. He read the address and I should give this letter. Whose letter is this? I should search that lady. I should search Connie and give away this letter to her. He thought, and that day night he did not sleep. Early morning he woke up and took that letter. Who did this one? Who did this one? Narrator. He took that letter and went. When he went, he asked there in the Bridport area, Dorset. He went there, 12 Copper Beaches Road. He went and he asked. Then one boy was there with his dog. He asked, where is this address? Then the boy said, yeah, you have to turn that side. Then he went that side. There he saw one old man without barefoot, without chappals. So he asked, hello sir, I want this address. Jim MacPherson's, Connie. Jim MacPherson's wife Connie. I want this address. Then the old man said, that lady is living in the old nursing home. Why? Because her house was burnt one day. That Connie's house was burnt one day with fire. She is partially burnt. So she was the fireman came and all doused the flames. The fireman doused the flames of the house and took that lady and kept in the nursing home. She is in the nursing home. You can go there and find her. The old man said. Then this narrator went immediately to the nursing home and he asked the nurse there, Madam, I want Mrs. Connie, Mrs. Jim MacPherson, I want Connie, the lady. Means he went. Then the nurse showed, yeah, she is in the conservatory room. You can go and meet her. Then the narrator goes to the lady and says, he meets her. He says, Connie, he calls her with the name Connie. Then she feels in tears and she thinks that her Jim has come back. When the narrator takes the letter and wanted to give to Connie, and when he goes into the room where the lady was sitting on a wheelchair, she'll be sitting on a wheelchair near the window with plants around and she'll be observing from the window. She'll be thinking of her husband. And in the meantime, who will arrive there? Narrator will arrive and say, he'll call Connie. Then immediately this lady gets tears in her eyes and she thinks that her Jim has come back. Her Jim has returned. So she will not answer anything. Just her eyes will be filled with tears and she thinks that, oh, my Jim has come. That is only my best Christmas present. I don't want any jewelry or any clothes or any car or bungalow, whatever may be. I want my husband back. She was thinking that one only. My husband went to war. My husband Jim went to war. I want my husband back. If he comes on Christmas Day again, he promised me that he will come by 25th of Christmas. So if he comes back, that will only be my best Christmas present. So I'm waiting for my husband. She's thinking herself. So when she heard the sound of Connie, she thinks that her husband has returned back and her eyes are filled with tears. Now see, having read the letter, the author decided to give it back to whom it belonged. To whom did it belong? To Connie. Next morning, he drove to Bridport, Dorset. The author went to the nursing home and gave the letter to Connie. She felt that her Jim had returned back, but actually it was not her Jim. Is the narrator and Jim same? No. It was not her Jim. He is the narrator who took the letter and bought the letter. But Jim did not come back. She said that her Jim had kept his promise and returned on the eve of Christmas. In the last, she said that she had got the best Christmas present in the world. What was her best Christmas present? Any jewelry? Any car or bungalow or any item? No. Only her husband returning back safely on the Christmas day is only the best Christmas present for her. Okay, what was her Christmas present? The coming of Jim. Did he come? No. Having read the letter, the author decided to give it back to whom it belonged. Okay, the same. Next, her eyes were filled with tears and she felt that Jim has returned. Next, see here. She said that her Jim had kept his promise. When she heard the voice of the narrator as Connie, calling her Connie. Then she felt herself that my husband has kept his promise. She said that her husband has kept his promise. What was his promise? In the last, she said she had got the best Christmas present in the world. Oh, I thought my husband will come with that is only my husband coming only is the best gift for me, so he has come, she feels herself. But actually it is not her husband, it was the narrator. Okay, Jim did not return back. Okay children, now her age is 101 years old, 101 years of old. She is, so she can't see properly, she can't listen properly. With that she is feeling that her Jim has returned back. Okay children, I think you have understood. If you have any doubts you can ask me later. Okay children, bye.